Why is my man telling the children, if anything happens in your cabins, this is Chrissy's cabin. She is a number 9. I want you to bang down her door and go wake her up. Thank you. Raise your hand if you're equally as shocked to see me here right now or to hear me here right now. Hello everyone and welcome to my podcast named What Did She Say? I am your host Chrissy and it's really good to have you back. I hope it's good to have me back. It's been a minute. It has been a minute. I think the last time I uploaded an episode must have been November. Yeah, and it's now June. Probably July by the time this comes out because I am awful. So it's been a bit longer than a minute. Yeah. How's life been, guys? Because my life it's been mad, but thank Jesus nonetheless. Guys, the fact that I'm even here right now in this current state, this current economical state is crazy. Not because of the planes flying over my homeland. No, it's the fact that I look like this and I'm here right now. The sun is gone. I've missed peak natural lighting recording time because I was just faffing around. I'm kind of low energy and I don't know what possessed me to open up the mic right now. I just thought, do it. And I thought if I postpone this another day, I won't do it again and we won't get the content. And I'm kind of sick and tired of giving all my energy to my close friends list because those girls aren't paying my rent. So What Did She Say has to come back. I need someone to pay my rent. I'm joking, guys. I still live at home. No one's paying rent. I did not want this to be another failure / thing that I don't complete, low-key hint into my YouTube channel. But I do enjoy this. I do. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy this. I enjoy what it gives me and what it gives to others. So today's episode, guys, is really just a catch-up, a life catch-up. What has been going on in my life? Why have I been gone for so long? And I need to be so darn honest with you. I had a full episode, 25 minutes of gold, right? Edited, recorded, complete, ready to go. And I think this was ready to go in February, right? I low-key just started to get out of my little depression era, my little grief era. And I was like, yep, let's get life back together. It was literally just before I was going gym. I got my little gym outfit. I was going gym for the first time since whatever. And came on here and I'm talking. I'm like, yeah, this is how to make your, this is how to jump out of depression. This is, I don't know, low-key, just felt, am I spitting? It just felt super phony. I feel like I was, sometimes I forced myself out of it, right? I was forcing myself out of it in that moment and I felt the need to force you man out of it too. And yeah, that was just, I couldn't bring one thing about me, authenticity. And I'm not trying to big myself up. I'm trying to be low-key. I'm trying to be humble and cute, right? But the fact of the matter is no one knows me like me, right? Except the Lord above. And I'm sitting there editing and this editing process took months, right? Because there was no zeal, there was no passion. So it's taking forever. And every time I open up my editing app to edit, I'm not feeling it. I'm just seeing phony. I'm seeing, but I continued and I edited the whole episode. But it just wasn't given. And it got to a point where I was like, nah, I can't post this. So I deleted it. Cleared up some storage and I deleted it. And I just thought, you know what? If I have to come back here right now looking bummy AF, I'll do it. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. For those who are watching. Because apparently more people watch than listen, which is so weird because I listen to podcasts. I do not watch them. But sure, if you're watching, you're obsessed. I'm joking. The elephant in the room is our little curly girl right here. I have a mini little curl just hanging off my forehead. She was done in a state of rage. Yeah, I was basically in the middle of a crash out. I was in Spain, kind of in the middle of this crazy experience. And this one piece of hair was half curly, half straight. No, we're not giving lukewarm. No. So I got my eyebrow scissors and I just chopped her off. And I said, no, to hell with you, straight piece. I just thought I'd address that for those watching. So yeah, it's a bit bummy. I'm looking a bit bummy. I'll be the first to say it. Next episode, God willing, I will come correct. But you know what? This is a podcast. You did not come here for, you didn't come here for a makeup routine. So don't come for me, okay? Let's start with November. Let's start with why I stopped, right? Because I was kind of on a roll, wasn't I? I was posting, I think, once a week or once every 2 weeks. I can't even remember the schedule. I think it was on a Tuesday. I couldn't even tell you. But in November last year, my granddad, RIP, he was really unwell. He was hospitalized literally till his last day. And yeah, but he skedaddled mid-December. And that month of November leading up to his exit, sorry, if you think I'm being crude or whatever, just charge it, because this is just how I am. This is just how I deal with things. I'm not going to sit here and, kumbaya the whole situation. This is just how I deal with it, right? This is good for me, okay? I'd rather be sitting here laughing and remembering the funny bits and joking about the whole situation rather than crying, because that was just long and jarring. And also, I know my granddad more than anyone, right? And my granddad, man, like good though, like he was such an unserious guy. There's only one thing that man took seriously. No, there was two things. There was two things that man took seriously. Number one, it was talking whilst you're eating, because no one's allowed to talk when you're eating, because that's just disrespect, apparently. That's what he took seriously. The second thing was his damn car. His car, he loved more than 8 of his grandchildren. I don't even know if there's 8 of us, but let's say there's 8. He loved more. Wait, 3, 6, 9. There's actually 9 of us. That's crazy. Actually, there's it's actually 11 of us. That's crazy. Anyway, sorry guys. Sorry. Yeah, I know you missed the ADHD call, but cool. Homeboy loved his car more than he loved his... Calm down. Homeboy loved his car more than he loved his 11 grandchildren. And that was on period. No debates. He loved that car. So that's what he was serious about. He was serious that when you jump out of his car, you have to kiss the car goodbye, and you don't slam the door, you close it gently shut. You know what he wasn't serious about? He wasn't serious about death. His best friend, his sister, his code D, exited this earth, and homeboy just giggled. I don't think he even shed a tear. Bear in mind, that was his best friend. They were yapping on the phone 24s. She passes away and he doesn't even blink an eye. He just said, it is what it is. The game is the game. He just sat there cackling. So I know for a fact he's not going to want me to sit here crying and bleeding and screaming and singing Kumbaya till kingdom come. I know that. So not only is it my way of dealing with grief, it's also what I know my man would want. That's so corny. That's so... I know that's what he would want. Ew, I don't think I am. Am I in a Netflix show? Probably. Joking. It's more like EastEnders in my life. Anywho, let's continue with our story. So, RIP. That happens. And I'm not going to lie, it kind of hit me like a bulldozer. I've never really experienced grief before. Never really experienced anyone entering the other side. And yeah, it's weird because I always thought, right, especially when it comes to old people, because you just know their time is coming, right? They got one foot in the grave. So you just think it's why would I be so mad when it happens? I know it's happening, especially when they're sick. Brother was in hospital. The doctors literally said, this man is not leaving the hospital. Oh, why are my lips in the microphone? Calm down. Sorry. But it still was a really weird experience, a really sad one. And yeah, that lasted a bit of time, but we got over it. I honestly don't know what to say anymore. It feels like it was such a long time ago now, just being in that place. Like, I don't even know if I want to talk about it anymore. I think I don't, so I'm just going to move on swiftly. I think I started to around that period, I just gave up on life. I didn't really have much planned for the year ahead. His funeral was literally on the 31st of December. So like homeboy said, I'm going to make an exit and an entrance from 2024 to 2025. It's going to be all about me. We ending and starting this year about Giddo. And we said, okay, cool. And I think it was a weird way to start the year, but low-key a good way, because like by February, I was like, I want to start anew. Like February is my January now. So I low-key tried in February, but again, it felt very phony. It was very forced. So I don't know how well I did. I don't know. February kind of feels like a blur. But then we come to March, which was my birthday. And then low-key, yeah, I'm turning 25. I started to feel myself again. I started to feel like, do you know what? Human. Let's go. 25. I need to pick myself up. So yeah, I gotta say, I think started to turn around in March for sure. But in January, I went to Egypt with my dad for like 5 days, very random. But it was a nice, wholesome trip. Like, we didn't do much. I think he just needed to escape anyways because of, like, you know, his whole dad dying. So, you know, I did that with him because I just thought he needed me in that moment, which it was nice. He made me laugh a lot. February was whatever. Again, just kind of feels like a blur. March, I went away for my birthday. I booked myself and my cousin a trip to Portugal for a couple of days. That was really nice. After Portugal, I think very soon after Portugal, I felt like I needed to do something. So I started looking online for things to do, teaching, traveling, whatnot. And I went back to the same company that I went to Bali with in 2023. I lived in Bali for 2 months teaching English. And I went back on their website, reapplied, and basically I saw that there was like there was an English teaching camp happening in Spain, right? End of March. It was running for about 3 weeks. Yeah, it was a 3-week trip. And I said, why not? Let's do it. Let's go. It's volunteer work, obviously, because when do I ever get paid for my work? When do I ever get paid for my services? Never, ever. Okay. So it's volunteering, and I said, cool, let's go. I applied for it, and Loki didn't think I would get accepted because I applied so last minute. But not only did I get accepted for it, but they were dying, like they were begging for me to go, and I was kind of anxious because it was, this was like early March, and this trip was now happening in like 2 weeks and a half, and I just thought, this is crazy. Like, how can I go away for 3 weeks in 2 weeks? I don't know. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. But the way they kind of pushed it, I was like, do you know what? F it, let's go. And then just before my Spain trip, my mum books me 7 days in Egypt, me and her. And that stressed me out initially because I was like, bro, you're literally taking me to Egypt. We're coming back. And the next day, I'm going to Spain for 3 weeks. Like, I don't know. I was really anxious in the moment. But then I just thought, I got to let go and let God. Like, she's doing this really sweet thing for my birthday. It's just me and her. Me and my mum, we haven't been on a trip together, just her and I, in years. So I just got to go live it. Also, just something I want to mention. I got really fat, which was just so rude. I got really fat when I got depressed. So I went to Egypt kind of a bit tubby, you know, and that wasn't cute. Like, I'm literally looking back, I'm like, what is that mammoth? Like, you genuinely can't tell the difference between me and the whale in the sea. Like, I'm there swimming and the whale saying, hey, twin, it's crazy. Like, why did I look like that? But okay, cool, whatever. I still had a really, really, really good time. I went diving, for the first time in my life. Me and my mom, she's like a diving enthusiast. She does that all the time and she's so good at it. So she was gassed. Like, there's not a lot of things that my mom has taught me in this life, you know, except for being a baddie. But the fact that she finally like taught me her, she was just so cute. It's so cute to see your mum like teaching you something. Like, homegirl never taught me how to cook. Like, that's one thing she did not try to do. Like, not as a kid, she didn't try to bring me into the kitchen. In fact, she was trying to keep me out of the kitchen. She nearly put a padlock on the kitchen because I was always sneaking in for biscuits. So the kitchen and I as kids, we were not the best of friends, you know? Okay, before she starts screaming and crying and saying like that she doesn't offer, she does. Now that I'm like pushing 30, she wants to say to me, do you want me to teach you how to make molokhaya? I'm like, mama, leave me alone. I'm watching Dexter, okay? Just cook for me. Thank you. That's all I want in this life now. I just want someone to cook for me. Moving on swiftly. So, went to Egypt now with my memes. And it was great. Very relaxing. The weather was great. It was literally like mid-March. Sorry. It was mid-March. The weather was fantastic. It wasn't too hot. It was nice and sunny. Like, it was great. I met a little cutie out there as well. He's a freshie, so it's like literally it was 1 week done and bun. Like, it was cute, it was nice, you know. Even though I was a mammoth, he still thought I was hot, so I was like, let's go. That quickly got removed, obviously, the second I touched down in Gatwick. Let's be so for real. That was Egypt. And then I went to Spain. Now, again, this Spain trip, guys. Now, there's so much to say about pain. No, yeah, I didn't get that wrong. I don't mean Spain, I mean pain. Because boy, was I in pain. Okay? And I low-key... No, that's a lie. I high-key planned to do a whole episode on this. Guys, I started like a 7-part series on TikTok about this Spain trip. Because that Spain trip was crazy. It was crazy. But I don't know. I feel like I've evolved. I've grown in the last 2 months. And I just don't feel the need to give attention to such a yuck thing. Or should I say institution? Yeah, so I don't know how much I want to talk about that Spain trip, but let me just say, coming back from Spain, I was enraged. I was very emotional. I was very angry. I was very, mortified by what I had experienced there. But I don't know, as time has gone on, I'm just like, all I low-key can remember and see are the good times. Like, the good times that I shared with the children that I met, the good times that I had with my friends. And I don't know, like, I just feel like that's kind of what I want to focus on. But before you guys let your imaginations get the best of you, let me just quickly say, the reason why that trip was so chaotic and crazy and mortifying at sometimes, essentially it's a camp in Spain, right? And apparently camps are a big thing in Spain. Like, low-key, like, you know, like in the UK where we have like residential trips at the end of year 6, I think that's the equivalent in Spain, where I don't know if it's every single year, but I think you get to a point in high school and you go to camp. That's a thing for them. Like, it's a regular schmegular thing, which I love for them, right? It's great. I was a camp monitor, which means basically I was like a camp... You know, the people at camp who like look after you and they like look after each cabin, and the people who run activities and whatnot. That was me, right? That's what I was going to do. But it was sold to us on the basis that we were going to be teaching English. That was very far from the case. What this thing was it was just a camp where you weren't allowed to speak Spanish. The Spanish natives were forced into like this super immersive experience with English speaking people. 90% of the mandem on campsite were not native English speakers. They were Spanish people who knew English as a second language, if you were lucky. Most of them couldn't string a sentence together, but they were passing themselves off as English speakers. Now, by the way, that's not me trying to say, oh, you can't speak English, you can't. No, that's not superiority. That is just facts, because I just don't understand. The people who run in this camp basically said to us during our induction weekend, right? Even if you can speak Spanish, do not let these children know you can. The whole thing here is that they are not allowed to speak Spanish. If they know you can speak Spanish, they're going to start speaking to you in Spanish, and it's going to destroy our credibility and destroy da-da-da-da. And like, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, I'm going to talk about Spain for a bit. Just hold your horses. Okay, let's talk about it because it's kind of funny. And there were about, I'd say 12 maybe. Again, I'm just making up numbers about me, I'm not honest. But there was about 12 UK native English speakers who came with the same company that I was with. It's Go2Co. Yep, I'm naming names. Go2Co. No, because you know me, yeah? I'll name names when things are going good. I'll name names. When I went to Bali with Go2Co in 2023, it was one of the best experiences of my life. Yeah, there were some issues there, but I don't care. It was still lit, right? So why would I not mention names when things go crap? Again, authenticity, baby. Moving on. So there were about 12 of us from Go2Co, right? I think I was one of the oldest people there. I was 25 at the time. Still am, lol. There was one woman there. She was, I think, 28. There was a 23-year-old, 22-year-old. But I think the majority kind of... Well, just the majority about 22, between 19 and 22 years old. For me, that's hella young. So it I don't know. Yeah. There was also about, I'd say 5 or 10, can't remember, native Spanish monitors with us who are also being trained, but apparently I don't know why they're doing training, because apparently they do this job on a regulars, but sure. And again, even the man who couldn't string a sentence of English together were told to not let the kids know they were Spanish. Bear in mind, homeboy's name was like Rodriguez, Julio, Montes, Jesus. Like, these men would have the most Spanish names ever, and then they're told, oh, just call yourself Martin. Just call yourself Sarah. Just call yourself Becky. Sorry, again, like, do you, okay, do you know this whole Spain situation? I call it a cult. I really feel like it's given cult, because the things they would convince us to do, and the way you just like go over your head, you don't even deep it, but like in the moment, these men are literally telling some people, change your names. For what purpose? So that a bunch of 15-year-olds don't know that you're actually Spanish. Freaks, that's what they are. Absolute freaks. But moving on. The days were long. The days in camp were long for monitors. I want to say I was working about 18 hours most days. But really and truly, we were on call 24/7. Because why is the bumper bloody director of the camp, Mr. Tooth Fairy? I call him Tooth Fairy because he's toothless. It's just irony, okay? Why is my man telling the children, if anything happens in your cabins, this is Chrissy's cabin. She is a number 9. I want you to bang down her door and go wake her up. Thank you. Guys, you know, at one point, they put all 12 female monitors in one cabin, yeah? Meaning, and each of us we were in charge of a cabin, and the cabin could have like from between 6 to 8 kids in it, yeah? Meaning, if one child woke up in the middle of the night, vomiting, screaming, dying, who knows, yeah? They would come to the one cabin filled with all the female monitors and wake us all up. I beg you to do that. Okay, cool. By the way, again, volunteers. The English ones, we were volunteers. The Spanish natives, they were getting paid. Do you think for 1 minute there was a difference in our job roles? Nope. Oh, nope. We were doing the exact same thing. Some people were doing it for money. Some people were volunteering. Cool. Do you want to know how long we got for break? We got an hour, which was never the case, because they always like overwork you during your breaks, and they would like easily shave off 15 minutes, half an hour, who knows, right? And then we were supposed to get like coffee breaks in like the afternoon or in the morning. I don't know. It's very complicated, right? But by week 2, they shaved that off. They said, nope, you don't need that anymore. You don't want that. Nope. They took it off. Yeah. Week 1, by the way. So week 1 was really tough. Obviously I'm adapting, and it takes some time for me to adapt, but once I adapt, I'm good. Week 1 was tough, you know, adapting to everything, working so hard, working so long, very, very little downtime. I'm going to tell you one more thing, just to show like how crazy this place was. Can you please, for the love of Christ, explain to me why I had in my cabin on the first week 11-year-olds, 11 to 12-year-olds, or were they 10 to 11? I think they were 10 to 11-year-olds, yeah. Group of amazing girls, always stay in my heart, my babies, right? Tell me why those girls are going to sleep at 12 a.m. Do you know that pissed me off so much? Why are we doing that to children? Why are we changing their routine so badly? Like, one of the girls was like, my mum said I have to be asleep by 10. I tried to tell the director. He said, well, womp womp, she's staying up till 12. Do you know how crazy that is, right? On the schedule, it says 11, but they never sleep by 11. They're always asleep by 12. Okay, cool. Tell me why every single day after we finally put these kids to sleep, we had to have meetings. All of us monitors and that bomber director come into a room and yap about the most pointless things ever. Like, nothing of substance. Oh, you think it's done there? We yap and yap and yap and yap. Sometimes it goes on for an hour, right? Then you have to have a small group meeting with your little tiny groups, your little team meeting. Every single day. When I tell you we were not sleeping before 2 a.m. and guess what time we had to be waking up the kids? 8:30 in the morning. So obviously when I'm sharing a cabin with sometimes 5 other women, sometimes 11 other women, of course I'm waking up at 7:30. Of course I'm waking up at 7 a.m. sometimes because I need to get myself ready. It was absolute insanity. So very low rest time, working very hard. We're running activities. And not only, guys, are we running activities, we are in charge of these children's medication. We're in charge of giving medication, making sure they have their inhalers, making sure they have their EpiPens, making sure that we are literally the ones controlling the children with allergies, whether they eat something with nuts or not. Like, do you know how much pressure that is? Like, it's one thing to be a teacher, right? That's me, right? It's one thing to be a teacher who's trained and worked with children for so many years and to know these things and for it to kind of be second nature. But imagine these men were employing 19-year-olds who are still in uni, 20-year-olds who have never had a job in their life, 22-year-olds who don't even have siblings, right? They've never looked after another human being in their life. Now being responsible and in charge for God knows how many children at a time, right? Literally, you're in charge of their lives. Like, brother, that's crazy. There's some medication. I had one girl in my room particularly who I can't remember what illness she had, but basically if she got sick, if she even got the common cold, it's curtains. I had to go to, guys, hear this crazy. I had to go to sleep, right, with a walkie-talkie next to my pillow. And she literally had a walkie-talkie with her. I had a walkie-talkie with me because God forbid if anything happened to her in the night, how did I actually forget this happened to me? This is insane. God forbid anything happened in the middle of the night. She would have to go, Chrissy, help me, I'm dying. And I'd have to run out of my bed and go, brother, did I give birth to you and I forgot? What is this? What is that? That was literally my life, guys. And week one was calm because like I did it and whatever. Week 2, that's it. That's when I lost my shit. Like that is when I was done. Because I will work like a donkey and I'll work like a donkey for free when I've agreed to that. But do not violate me and do not take advantage of me. And that's what happened in week 2. Like the director, he switched his tone. He became even more greedy than the beginning. We were being violated. We were being taken the piss out of. And you know one thing about me, I am not a lemming. I am not a prick and I will not let it happen. So I started barking up. I started piping up. I started saying aloud in these meetings what's going on, what's going wrong. And obviously the cult didn't like that. The cult didn't like my 2 cents. So anyways, long story short, after a particular meeting at the end of week 2, at the beginning of week 2, I started like emailing Go to Co and I started complaining and I started, causing a ruckus, right? An upheaval, is that the word? Upheaval? No. Whatever, I forgot the word. And I basically threatened that if things don't change by the end of the week, I gotta go and you men are paying my flights. Because actually, guys, imagine, not only am I working for free, I paid for my own flights going and coming. Cool. I said, I'm going to leave at the end of this week if things don't change. Tooth Fairy comes to me and he says to me, yeah, things are not changing. So wagwan. I said to him, you gotta book me a flight. If you don't book me a flight, I'm gonna sit in my cabin for the next week because there was only 1 week left of camp and I ain't gonna do shit. Anyways, they ended up booking me a flight. Now, over the weekend, I'm just going to say this for clarity's sake and for authenticity's sake, but over the weekend, I went away. Me and the group of people that I was with, I did make some friends there, by the way. Like, the social aspects of this trip is just BS. I don't even want to get into. But by the end of it, I did make a couple decent friends. I won't say they were the realest people, but I made a couple decent friends. I think I have a couple of them still on Insta for now. But yeah, there was one person that I was like really close with. We don't talk a lot now because he lives in Bristol. But to be fair, his friendship is what really kept me going. So yeah, it's just so funny that even in really crap situations that you can find like light and brightness and laughter. And I love that. So that was good. I trip there. Having that guy with me. So that weekend, end of week 1, right? End of week 2, I've made my threat. I've said what I've said. But then we go away. We go away for a day. We go like, we were staying in Salamanca. We were staying like in a place like an hour away from Salamanca. And then we went to Salamanca to kind of like tour the city and whatnot. And these guys, my friends, are like, Chrissy, just stay. Like, it won't be the same without you. Let's just do 1 more week. Like, you can do this, And me, I'm kind of easily influenced, like, especially when it comes to peer pressure. Like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll take those drugs right now. Let's go. I'm joking. I've never done drugs. That's a lie. Okay, so I'm joking. Stop crying. Moving on. So I was like, say less. So bear in mind, on the Friday, I'm sitting there in the meeting. I'm like, I'm leaving. Book me a flight. On the Saturday, I sent her a message. I'm like, hey Tooth Fairy. So I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to be friends. I think I'm going to stay. Homeboy was like, nah, G, you're done. He was like, bro, like, khalas, like, it's done. I've made the arrangements and it's been accepted that we are going to pay for your flights to go. I think they were just, they were really scared of like what I would have done if I had stayed. Because like, obviously I would have like, my mouth is, sorry, there's something in my eye. He was like, nah, like we've just paid XYZ for your flights. Like, come on, don't be silly. You gotta go. So yeah, that was quite funny. So I did leave like about 4 days earlier than everyone else. But it was such a good experience, I'm not gonna lie, because I ended up going to Barcelona by myself. I spent a day there. It felt like a little solo trip and I did really love it, and it was such a good experience. And then I got back just before Holy Week, and Holy Week was amazing. It was really good. The one thing I will say about Spain, however, just to like end it here, is again, because I came back really emotional, really angry. I was all on this like, I'm gonna expose these bad people. I'm trying to not swear. I'm trying to expose these poo heads. I'm not going to let them get away with it. I'm not going to let them violate more people, especially younger, impressionable people. Like at the end of the day, what I realized is people like this are going to be very manipulative. They were very manipulative. They were very sly and sneaky. There was so much crap going on in the background, so much lying and deceiving of us monitors, of the children themselves. It was just really booky. It was booky AF. And I just thought, you're taking advantage of these young people that you bring here to volunteer or work here because you know that frontal lobe cortex is not developed, and you can do that to them. And I just thought, social justice warrior here is not going to let that run. But I don't know. A week went by, and that week specifically was Holy Week, and I don't know, I 7 days later after I came back, I was just like, bro, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I'm done with the anger. I'm done. Like, I can't protect everyone. At the end of the day, what I realized is when I sat in that room, in that meeting several times, and I spoke up against the injustice, when I spoke up and I was getting angry on behalf of others, they all stayed silent. And that's not the first time I've seen this in my life, where I speak up for others and they stay silent. And firstly, no one ever speaks up for me when bad things happen to me. No one ever speaks up, like, first of all. But secondly, like, imagine I'm backing you and you're staying silent. But that's how it went with these people. Like, they were just absolute lemmings. And I just thought, you know what, girl, let go and let God. Let go and let God. But anyways, I did take down my little expose on TikTok. There are a couple little videos here and there. I think they're like little vlogs that I did whilst I was there. And then I did the voiceover when I came back, which were kind of funny, but yeah, I kind of left it at that. And I was going to do a whole episode on it, which I kind of feel like I've already done. Just said I wasn't going to do, but I just thought context is important, right? But do you know what? That all said, yeah, I still had such a good time. Like, you know, one thing about me, no matter how crappy the experience is, like all the bad things that happen, I will always try to see the light, and I will always try to see the good things. Like, you know, a couple years ago, I went to Spain with my sister, right? And she tried to like smack me in the face in the middle of the Italian streets. And for some reason, that's the only part that everyone wants to remember from that story. But that was one of my favorite trips because I just felt like it was such an incredible city. We had such a good time. Why am I going to dwell on the fact that she tried to spark me in the middle of the Italian streets when I could dwell on, or I could not dwell on the fact that I was in Florence and I ate good food and I toured the city and I was with my sister. It was our first trip in years. Like, I just like to focus on the good. I just think that's better for your mental health and it's better for everything, right? So yeah, Spain was kind of culty and worked me to the bone and violated a lot of my human rights. But you know what? I met some incredible children. I had such a good time with the children. I laughed, I joked, those kids that I met out there were just so incredible. We had such a good time together. Like in week 1 and week 2, I had 2 completely different cabins, different age groups, and we had such a good time. I laughed, like there was so much, even the jokes I made with like the other monitors, that was lit, that was funny. I met some crazy characters, people who are not even real, like they're actually part of the simulation. Integrated with them, like, no, they were good times, bro. Like, they were good times. I got hella skinny. Like, I hardly ate. I was doing like 20k steps a day. Like, whoa, like I got wham. My bum was so like big by the end of it as well because I kept on walking. There was so much incline, right? My cabin specifically was all the way at the top of the hill. So I was doing up booty work. Like, guys, there's so much good, So that's what I'm trying to focus on. So yeah, Spain was it was definitely a once in a lifetime experience. I will say that. So big up to Ferry, innit? Big up, you waste man. Moving on. What happened after Spain? I ended up booking a trip to Kenya. It is the missionary trip that I go on with my church. I say go on, but I've only done it once in 2018, and that was a completely different experience to what I had this year. But I'm actually going to do a whole episode on my Kenya trip because it was so incredible, and that is worthy of a whole episode. That is worthy of my attention. It's worthy of my announcing. It's worthy of my, it is. So I'm going to talk about that in a whole other episode. So yeah, guys, it's been chocker. It's been packed. Oh, and by the grace of God, I'm going to Egypt at the end of July. Now, let's pray. I don't know, I got my fingers crossed because we don't believe in that. Let's pray that Egypt, Iran, Palestine, the Middle East, the whole world are protected and are safe. And this pathetic, disgusting war that's going on is somehow halted, and the civilians and the innocent people are protected, and it doesn't get worse than it already has. Let's really, really pray, because I'm scared. So yeah, guys, this year 2025, I really feel like God has blessed me so much, and he the thing is, right, God knows how much I love traveling. And last year, because of my PGCE, I couldn't travel at all. I think I only went to 2 countries, which is insane for me because I really do love traveling and I will do it a lot. And I kind of promised myself that next year, after I finish my PGCE, I'm going to take the time out to travel. And I'm so happy that God has blessed me. Within the first 6 months of this year, I've gone to so many places. I feel like that's been a really big gift from my Heavenly Father. So that's been really nice. And it's actually really nice to reflect on it all. Because, I really imagine burying your granddad on the first day of the year. Imagine doing that. That kind of sets a tone for the year, don't you think? But it's actually been the complete opposite. Put good on the ground on the 31st of December. But 2025 has been pretty good, guys. It's been pretty good. Kenya, I think, is one of the best experiences of the year so far. It was absolutely incredible. And I feel like what I gained out of that has been so fulfilling, spiritually, physically, everything. So I'm just so blessed. I'm so happy to be where I am right now. And yeah, with this has been so reflective. Thank you for this. Thank you, because I can't believe where I am right now. And I haven't really deeped where I was exactly 6 months ago. And that's insane. That is insane. So thank you, Jesus. Thank you, you guys, for encouraging me to do this again. God is good. God is good. And literally whoa, why does my hair look like that? It's giving Hagrid. Yeah, let's just hope and pray that the rest of the year goes well and we don't end up living in bunkers, because I don't know if I could do that. And also, how are we going to get, what does she say if we're living in bunkers? It's not going to happen. I don't think there's anything else to update you on. Love life, non-existent. Career-wise, I am currently really focusing on my traveling. So I've just been doing agency work here and there. Have not rooted myself into a classroom as of yet, but I do really miss the kids. I really do miss teaching. I'm not gonna lie, but it's pointless. It's literally June. The summer holidays are next month, and it just would have been crazy with the amount of traveling I'm doing. I can't be contracted to one school. So God willing, come end of next year, I will have my feet kind of rooted in one school. We will see. What else is there? I'm just really excited for the summer. I'm excited for the summer. I'm low-key getting back into the gym again. Yes, because Kenya got me really skinny too. I lost a couple kg in Kenya, so I kind of want to maintain that. And I'm going to the gym as well. I'm going to the gym with my bestie, so that's been nice as well. So yeah, I'm just trying to do better. There's this great self-development book that I've been reading. It's called I Can, You Can. Rania Habib is the author, and yeah, it's really good. I think you should go read it. Yeah, no, seriously, it's really good. It's a self-development book, and I would really, 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 really encourage it, because who doesn't want to be better? Who doesn't want to be their better selves? And that's what I'm trying to be on this summer. I'm trying to look good, feel good, have a good time around the people that matter. And just get lit. I'm just trying to get lit. And that does not mean alcohol, by the way. That just means get happy with life, happy with friends. I just want to laugh. And I just feel like I've been laughing so much recently. And that's such a blessing, because I think a lot of us don't laugh and we don't even deep it. There was a long period that I did not laugh in, and it's such a blessing. So I thoroughly encourage it. Is there anything else that I'm doing with my life? Nah, how could I forget my whole new venture in life? It's not even new though. Like, that's the thing. It's not even new. Like, it's very much me, but this time I'm actually trying to make it a service that I get paid for, because I'm so done with doing free labor. But guys, I am now my other alternative ego. So I'm Chrissy, I'm CGO, I'm what did she say? I'm also now TCG. I can't do that. I'm also TCG, the content guest. Guys, I've started my own little business where I am an event coordinator, get out of here. I am an event content creator. So if you got any events coming up, any birthdays, weddings, baby showers, bridal parties, whatever it is, call TCG, DM me, let's go. So that's actually been really fun. That's been really good. That's been really fun. I'm getting a few little gigs here and there. So that's been something that I've been working on a lot recently. That's what I was talking about at the beginning, about like having so much on my plate content wise already. So this is kind of like adding a lot more to it. But do you know what? I hope and pray that I can continue, because this is my baby, and like I've left it abandoned in the home for too long. So I've gone to go pick her up from the adoption center, and she's back. So yeah, all my socials, right, for TCG, for this podcast, everything is going to be in the description, because I actually can't remember. I've got too many. There's TikTok, there's Instagram, and I'm going to plug this podcast, and I'm also going to plug my content creator page, my event content creator page, because you're going to need me and you're going to want me, because my content is lit and I'm definitely very much worth your money. So let's go. I think that's it for today. I've definitely chewed your ear off more than I expected. I said I was low energy, but lo and behold, just speaking about my life gave me energy, gave me life. Lol. So thank you so much for listening. I really do hope that you missed me. And even if you didn't, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And please make sure that you tune in for the following episode. I will not give you a time or a date, because God knows. Let's not stress. Let's not put any pressure. Because pressure, me and pressure, we're not good. You know me and my commitment issues. So yeah, thank you so much for watching or listening. If you want to check out any of my social medias for behind the scenes, for updates, just for more clued in insight on my life, you can go to my TikTok or Instagram pages that I will link in the description below, as I said. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic day.